Ask a kid, he'll tell you, I'm no good at that. I'm no good at math. I don't get grammar. I'm bad at music. I don't understand science. Early on, with a little luck, maybe you'll also learn what you're good at. You certainly hope so, but you will definitely learn what you're bad at. At some things, you're so bad it's not a deficit exactly. It's more like a wide swath of incompetence, a void, a yawning empty space. There's nothing there to build on. When I went off to college, I got to know two guys in the dorm, Eddie and Bob, who wanted nothing more than to play football. They were freshmen. They had played high school ball all 4 years. They had build. They had muscle. Football was what they knew how to do. Naturally, they went out for the college team. At a smaller university, they might have had a fighting chance. Here, they did not. They went to practice every day, after which they dragged themselves back to their dorm room in the late afternoon and waited for the dining hall to open. Protein, they would say. They needed protein. Somewhere in their dorm room, there were textbooks. I don't remember seeing them. Study. Those guys needed to study. One afternoon, Bob picked up his math book and tossed it on the desktop. I hate math, he said. Pi. What's pi? It's just a number you use, I said. It's 3.14. He shot a disgusted look at me, then shook his head. Pi's fucked. I thought of classmates in high school who would be incensed about X. Solve for X in algebra class. What's X? X made them angry. The teacher would say, X isn't anything. It's just a variable. It's an unknown value. To Eddie and Bob, X was a guy on a football field, on a chart with arrows and dotted lines and yard markers. They looked at those charts and they knew what they meant. Knew body and mind, where to go and what to do. But pi, on the other hand, not so much. I suck at math, Bob said. I told him I sucked at football. You're little, he said. Look at you. If you bulked up a little bit, it would help. That wouldn't help. Go to the gym. Work at it. I don't think so. He shook his head, pondering the futility, his and mine, math and football. I felt for him. I thought of my geometry class, circles and cylinders, triangles and trapezoids, parallel lines, transversals. It was the one visual field I sort of understood, thanks in large part to straight lines. In geometry class, I could draw. In art class, on the other hand, I could not draw. I never progressed beyond stick figures. I learned early that I sucked at art. In first grade, I sat next to a kid named Bruce Brown. During an art activity one day, we were drawing with crayons. I felt comfortable drawing a house, parallel lines, rectangles, a triangle. For a couple of trees, all I needed was parallel lines and circles. First grade art was a warm-up for geometry. I produced a couple misshapen clouds in the space above the house, added a couple checkmark birds, and an airplane that looked a lot like an arrow. I colored everything in, staying inside the lines, including the clouds. Bruce Brown stopped work and looked at my paper. Blue clouds, he snorted. Who ever heard of blue clouds? I looked at my artwork. Blue clouds. That pathetic airplane. I was in first grade, and I already knew I sucked at art.